Thank you. Just going to do one more, and the ladies are free to set up whenever they're ready. Okay, so I did this on Friday night, and I've never had so many requests to do a poem again, so I'm going to do it again and get it filmed so it's on YouTube. A few people said, "Oh, can you get it on YouTube?" I was saying the other night that I consider myself a member of the counterculture. Simply because I think that the mainstream culture's idea that profit's more important than people and the planet is insane. As a member of the counterculture, and I have many friends who would also agree with that, and I noticed that all these amazing people that I know in the counterculture who are creative and passionate and intelligent and committed, but despite that, the counterculture hasn't done a very good job, hasn't had the kind of impact on the mainstream culture that we need, because if anybody who cares to look will notice that our culture has us on a train heading towards a cliff called species extinction. And the counterculture's job, as I see it anyway, is to get us to switch tracks and to go in a different direction that you might call the lush, verdant valleys of evolution. Maybe. And so when I asked myself, why hasn't the counterculture done a better job of getting us to not destroy ourselves and the planet and to go into a nice direction? A saying that my mum used to say to me, and I never used to understand when I was a kid, keeps coming back to me, and it's that saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And when I look at my own life, it's always good if you're thinking about why things happen in the world to ask yourself, why does it happen in me? Because the world is a reflection of me. You get me? Yeah. So when I look at my good intentions, you know, like to give up smoking and to eat less sugar and not lose my temper so much, and I notice that I have these good intentions, but I don't always manage to do it, and sometimes it's a struggle, and sometimes I fall back into bad habits, and it doesn't really work the way I intend for it to. And I notice that the reason that is that I have stuff that I haven't dealt with, like shadow, and wounds and pain and abandonment issues and mum issues and dad issues and all that kind of stuff. And I wondered, I wonder if that's the problem with the counterculture. I wonder if this counterculture has shadow and stuff that it hasn't dealt with, and maybe it needs to deal with its shit. Because the counterculture is really good at pointing the finger at Babylon and saying, you're doing all this wrong, but maybe the counterculture should point at itself and say, what are we doing wrong? Is that just me?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, it is just me. Okay, fair enough. So I wanted to write a poem to express that, as basically a call to arms to the counterculture to deal with its shadow issues and all its stuff so that it can be the force for Mother Earth to protect her and the force for humanity to help humanity to evolve. And so this is the poem, and it's also a good excuse to take the piss out of me and all my mates. And so it's called Tribesters, and there's some audience participation. Are you up for some audience participation? Yeah! Not convinced. Are you up for some audience participation? Yeah! I'm convinced. Okay, so when I wrote it, at the time I was kind of into a bit of garage and stuff like that, so it's kind of got a vibe. If you listen to those pirate radio stations where they're always shouting, rinsing it out to the man like this and the man like that and all that kind of thing. So it's that kind of vibe. So I'm going to ask you at the end of every line to give a shout out, a garage pirate radio style shout out, and the shout out is, we got thee, we got thee. And for those of you who don't speak black, that's we've got thee, we got thee, yeah? So the sort of tune goes like this. If you do it at the end of the line, and then we'll just make sure you got it. So the tune goes, da 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 da. That's really flat. Da 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 da. We got the da 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 da. We got the da 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 da. We got the da 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 da. We got the raw fooders, anarchy activists, new age hippies. We got the supernatural pagans and spiritual devotees. We got the conscious evolvers, healers and yogis, psychedelic shaman and indigenous wannabes. The Tribesters are calling, they're calling your name to big up the counterculture and put Babylon to shame. The Tribesters are calling, they're calling your name To pick up the counterculture and put Babylon to shame. Cooked food is poison and raw is non-toxic. So why are so many raw fooders borderline psychotic? Activists campaigning and shaming Babylon, giving their heart and soul to fight for right over wrong, projecting their pain and abandonment issues, sustaining the status quo in a 0-0 lose-lose. Pagan earth angels worshipping Gaia and the Green Man, cursing technology while living in a transit van. The New Age's thought craze is a completely new paradigm, creating your own reality with nothing but the power of your mind. Got hearts in the right place and a genuine love of mankind, but an egotistical, oversimplistical blind leading the blind. Raw fooders, anarchy activists, New Age hippies, supernatural pagans and spiritual devotees, conscious evolvers, healers and yogis, psychedelic shaman and indigenous wannabes. The tribesters are calling, they're calling your name to pick up the counterculture and put Babylon to shame. You can join in with this bit. The tribesters are calling, they're calling your name to pick up the counterculture and put Babylon to shame. Spiritual, transcendental, I'm so non-attached, but you're still clinging to your beliefs, mate, so don't give me that crap. Meditating, contemplating, resting in the witness, but still acting like a junkie that's desperate for a fix of his bliss. I'm so fucking conscious, so multidimensionally evolved, sitting on my high horse and all my lower chakra problems have been solved. Self-important arsehole, dabbling in the dark side, giving orgasms to his harem while his bank account starts to rise. I'm a healer, I'm a feeler, I'm a Reiki wakey master, but I've got no charm for a broken arm because I'm only a plaster caster. I'm an Ashtanga, Yogananda, Iyengar maestro. My kundalini's rising, but my pain body's out of control. Raw fooders, anarchy activists, New Age hippies, supernatural pagans and spiritual devotees, conscious evolvers, healers and yogis, psychedelic shaman and indigenous wannabes. The tribesters are calling, they're calling your name to pick up the counterculture and put Babylon to shame. The tribesters are calling, they're calling your name to pick up the counterculture and put Babylon to shame. Psychonauts and hippie tricks want to open up the legs of our minds, travelling to universes way beyond everyday space and time. But instead of using these pointers to accelerate and integrate growth, it's a solipsistic, self-infatuated neurochemical joke. I want to be a Hopi or honorary Cherokee chief, by conveniently ignoring their misogynistic beliefs. I'm drinking ayahuasca, I'm a main calendar rainbow kin, abstracting fantastic realities because I can't deal with the real thing. My brothers, my sisters, mi familia, mi amigos, might we be taking ourselves a tad too serious? Our beliefs are just stories we tell ourselves just to cope. Gotta send them up not to get hung up on our very own rope-a-dope. Now guess who's the biggest culprit when it comes to disappearing up their arse? I used to think I was enlightened when I lived under a tree inside a park. You gotta face the here and now reality without the crutch of belief. If we wanna create a new world that makes Babylon obsolete, need a beginner's mind that's been refined and an unconditional heartbeat. If we wanna create a new world before Babylon's obsolete.